Welcome to the Nimrodders, where we talk about some fancy shit. Let me tell you, we have a really great episode today. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so jazzed to be a part of this.
Sit back, relax, grab your kicks and don't get fat.
A candy tier list.
I have a sandwich.
Hello, lovely listeners. I am Grandsand. I'm here with KreamedKARN, JustJerryJ, and McHawkthorn. And we are the Nimrodders.
Man.
It is the new year.
It's good to be back.
How was the holidays for everybody?
Terrible.
Jerry.
I'm just
all
kidding.
that time.
I'm just kidding. The Rams are in the playoffs. I am happy. Let's go.
Oh. Does that have to do anything with the holidays?
Football season, bro. Don't. Come on.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot I wasn't a sports guy. I don't understand.
How you not a sports guy, but you're repping the Denver Broncos? What?
I rep for the Broncos because I live in Colorado, and that's all.
Well, stop repping if you don't watch it. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not even watching.
And that's the only reason.
All right.
That's the only reason.
What else?
No. The holidays have been good. It's been everything after the holidays that have just been an absolute horrible nightmare.
Rent was due as soon as the New Year's hit, so there's that.
There's the thumbs up to that.
Way to shout out your own Twitter on the podcast. Make sure you, where's my camera? Make sure you follow JerryJ on Twitter.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Make sure.
McHawkthorn, your camera is like, your camera is doing something.
McHawkthorns?
Is it clear for everybody?
No,
it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think
Nobody's
it
cameras
comes
are clear.
through clear at the end of the recording.
Yeah,
I think it's just, yeah.
All right.
It's happened before, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Karn, good holidays. Yeah, I'm hoping.
It was all right. Yeah, it was okay. My living room is a
I had
disaster.
jury duty yesterday.
I just cleaned this today.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it looked like
You had
a little bit less stinky and crispy.
Oh, it
in
does
there.
look different. There's no big curtain.
Yeah, there's no sheet behind me. I don't have
And
it.
it
looks nice.
I think it's in the room.
I like
But,
the
and McHawkthorn,
confusion.
you had jury duty?
I had jury duty
Jury duty?
yesterday, yes.
Yeah,
Were they
the
guilty?
duty
Were
of
they
the jury?
guilty?
Were they guilty?
Of
you can
two
you can tell us.
charges
We won't
and
tell
innocent
anybody.
of one. It was an all-day thing. It was so tiring.
Jail.
I didn't jaywalk.
Yeah.
I just murdered.
Jail.
It was manslaughter at best, which is a lot less worse than murder, which is funny because you think it's worse. Manslaughter is
Guys,
not worse than just first-degree murder,
Oh,
apparently.
jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently.
Yeah.
You think, guys, you think I'd be a good judge?
No.
Of character?
Absolutely not.
No, you
I
would
don't
not
think
be a
so.
good judge.
No, you would be a
Not at
terrible.
all.
Yeah,
Well, no, okay,
because
so
what we just
wait,
said was
wait.
absolutely not, sir.
I don't think he would be a good juror because he would have to make the decisions on whether or not somebody was innocent or not. If he was a judge, that's a completely he has to
Involved
determine
in any part of the criminal justice system, he should not
Okay, are we
I don't
getting
even
into
trust
this
you to
right
be the
now?
bailiff.
We're gonna
sir.
get
No,
into this.
just get out.
Yeah.
be. Not even. No, he can't even be the court registrar. I don't even trust him to handle checks at this point.
So, Devin, what have you been doing to
Don't even tell people where to go, which courtroom to go to. Like,
Grandson, what
you
have you
heard
been
it
doing
here, everybody.
to learn the law, huh?
Tell me. Nothing.
to learn the law.
I've been doing nothing.
So
But
you
yeah,
don't know
no,
anything
you heard
about
it
the
here,
law?
guys. Grandstand can't do any job. That's the consensus here.
Ooh, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I think you'd be really good at being like a clown.
Golly.
Isn't that what I already am on Twitch?
That's what I'm saying.
as an entertainer.
Twitch.tv/Grandsand.
Aren't technically content creators in a way clowns, like medieval clowns? They're just entertaining. They're entertainers for the king, for other people.
Did you say medieval clowns?
Medieval. Wow.
Wait, you say modern?
Jesters.
Modern
Jesters.
Oh my god.
Keep trying. You almost got it.
Is it jesters?
Jesters are like old. They're older than clowns.
Yeah, like that, right?
Clowns
Jesters,
are
clowns, content creators, they're all the same.
Yeah,
Jesters are entertaining.
Yeah. So I'm already that.
Was that like a subtle shot, McHawkthorn?
What do you say?
Jesters are entertaining.
Quote unquote entertaining. Well, that was a lovely intro, everybody. We're going to move right along to our first little segment here.
I would like for everybody. Oh, go ahead, Karn. Yes, go on.
No, please. I'm waiting. No.
Go
I'm
on.
waiting with bated breath.
Okay. I want us
I don't know
all
what
to
bated breath
put-
means, but it's bated.
I think it's what fish have when they eat too much. I don't know. Sorry, that was dumb. That was a stupid
Tell me more
joke.
about fish.
No, I want to put on our tinfoil hats.
Oh no.
Is there a conspiracy to move everybody over to streaming exclusively so that they control the media that we watch, making it more difficult for us to own physical media in the long run? Like, are people making it intentionally more
they're
difficult
doing it already
to own physical media by incentivizing streaming? Even if you're paying for, like, if you buy something, but it's still streaming. Like, we just purchased a code for Oppenheimer, and we don't own a physical copy. It's in the cloud somewhere. Like,
they want to give it.
it's kind of
so they
fucked
can
up
take
a little
it
bit,
away.
right? Like, if
I
the
Because you
service,
think about it,
they don't have copies of, like, our data on service. Like,
I'm sorry. Both of you just went, wait.
no, I get what you're saying. 'Cause, like right now, if Steam just decide to fucking shut down,
right.
all our purchases are gone.
If
Gone.
Google Drive decided to shut down, there are no,
God.
like, it's likely that there aren't copies of our stuff, our files on there. Facebook decided to shut down, all of the photos are gone, right? Like, if an EMP blast went through and we didn't have
It's
any
over.
physical media, it's gone.
It's over.
Like, we're at the beck and
It's like
call
legit-
of, like, corporate conglomerates who are holding onto our data.
Yeah.
If for some reason they decide to pull the plug or increase rates on what we had purchased.
So I think that there's a argument to be had that could happen to a lot of different things. Like I don't know if there's a conspiracy going on, but like that is the way that they're moving our media consumption into is more streaming and less physical copies of whatever you want to watch. But
Well, I think it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I think that they're like
you.
the argument could also be like that can happen with anything. You know, if some greater country power came in and took us over and just said your dollar is worthless, any amount of money we had would be gone. So like if you think about it, while you're right that there is like there could be like a thing where they're pushing more
they're
towards
trying to move
streaming
to
because
cryptocurrency. Like a centralized
because-
cryptocurrency.
and that's why we're announcing the Nimrod coin.
The Nim coin. It's called Rod coin.
The Nim coin, yeah. Jerry, stop. So like,
Okay.
so I think that there is an argument to be had about that you know, because there's less cost of production in just creating codes to just then allow access for people to use. You know, the same thing. It's in the same way of like, even like, it's funny because even like when the whole consoles thing, like when they came out in 2020, that like everyone, no one could find a console, but you could still buy games because they were still digital releases, or they were, you know, codes from GameStop, codes from Walmart, codes from Target, but you couldn't buy the actual physical hardware. I think there's something to be said about that, that there's a lot, like the production of the hardware that we try to like keep up with sometimes just can't keep up with like the mass amounts of media and streaming that we do, like on a daily basis. Like for instance, things like the PS5 when it was launched, no one could buy one, but they were still making games for it. Or like the fact that like my Fire Stick in my bedroom only has like so many gigabytes of storage on it, to where I have to delete streaming apps that I already have to then stream other shows, because that one took up too much space. So then I have to delete this one to then stream this one and shit like that. So like there's an argument to be had that there's a lot of different ways we could be handling storage better, and we're not. You know, for instance, hi Google Drive, thank you for having your prices so low for terabytes, because Dropbox, for the record, and Google Drive and them, like, they're good, but there's also some places out there that you have to have for, like, say, I don't know, jobs, that you have to pay like $30, $40, $50 a month for the same storage you would get from them. Hi.
So that brings me on to another question. Just this subscription-based culture, and it's not just subscription-based. It's also this movement into not even really owning anything. Like, you need subscription for certain features on your electric vehicle. You need subscriptions for certain apps. You need even, I feel like there's, and I don't know if this has been affecting you guys out east, but where Grandsand and I live, I feel like apartments are popping up like daisies, owned by, like, with land owned by foreign companies, and that foreign companies are also making it really difficult to buy because they're renting out a bunch of houses. So everybody is renting now. Like, it's impossible to own anything. And there's this incentivization for business owners or like companies to come in and buy up real estate and rent it out to us. And I feel like, again, tinfoil hat here, but I feel like that there is a conspiracy to make it so that they have control over what we own in every aspect. And why not do that while doing that, getting our data through what we stream, what we watch, the volume at which we watch it.
Them terms of services, man.
Right.
Anything you sign up for gives that person
like
right.
It wasn't it KreamedKARN that said that we don't even own our cell phones? Like Apple?
No, you don't.
We don't.
Well,
We don't.
For Apple. Android,
right, for Apple.
you buy it, it's yours.
Yeah.
Right.
But
like,
Apple,
it's just, I feel like it's really interesting that they're de-incentivizing people to be able to own stuff and trying to push for the convenience of a subscription-based model and then moving into cryptocurrency, a centralized cryptocurrency. I'm just curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are on that.
Here's my thought.
I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I'm on the opposite side of it being like a conspiracy, and more so it just so happens that it looks like it's going in that direction, and the only reason why is because everybody is so absorbed with their own self accomplishments and what they can gain, right? So for me, I'm thinking in my mind with all these people who are doing all these things, they're not like, I don't think coming together and like coming up with a plan to be able to like control people. I think the reason why it's going in this direction is because everybody thinks that they can get more and more and more for themselves by doing a particular thing to us to make it more convenient or whatever it is. They'll get more money out of it. Like,
I think
what I'm hearing from that is that
Yeah.
I'm hearing from that Grandsand is just an eternal optimist as always, and he doesn't want there to be a conspiracy.
I mean, I think it's been more than proven
no,
that
because you guys are good. I want you to be good.
Well, that's not necessarily the point I'm making.
No,
because they're not
I'm
necessarily
also,
like.
There's also this sort of manipulation in the market where companies are trying to make themselves out to be almost like individuals by having like a brand identity and standing on certain values and principles. That it's like you're a company. You don't have principles. You're a brick and mortar company. Why do you have principles? And it's all to manipulate people into making more money. Well, if people aren't dependent on a service, then you're not going to make any money. So you're going to make them reliant on that service. I think it's very predatory. Like, I think there are two types of people.
Yeah.
There are the people who prescribe to these services, who are in their own little bubble and are so in their own heads while they're consuming these services. And then there are the people who are taking advantage of those people, taking advantage of the ignorance of those people who are
Right.
like who are recording the data of these people and targeting ads, targeting like it's crazy how much like you dream, you know, that weird thing is like you dream about something and then all of a sudden you see it in like Google ads or an Amazon ad or whatever. Like the point of these algorithms is to specifically get to know you and tailor content to you. And so I think that that's kind of predatory. Is it convenient? Yes. 100%. Am I always angry that it happens? No. Sometimes I'm like really grateful for it, but it's also at the risk of my own data. Like the convenience is at the risk of my personal information, which is why
I respect that. Yeah, I respect that because I think that something that does get like it's easy for you to get defensive of the fact of like, oh well, I don't want these big companies knowing everything about me because that can be predatory and that can be like used in a malicious way of like, you know, oh, like for instance, there was that story of how like this lady at work was looking into like, I don't know, it was something that was like a gay cruise or something like that. It was like some sort of like, you know, oh, this is like our homosexual cruise, whatever. And she was getting ads for it. And she didn't even tell her like parents yet. And and she got sent a letter that was like, it was like, welcome, whatever. And then they found it and were like, what the hell is this?
That reminds me of a story. That it was like, it was still like, it was mail. It was like snail mail. This mom was getting these coupons for baby supplies, like diapers and bottles and formula. And she's like, why am I getting this information? Turns out that her daughter, who didn't even know it at the time, was pregnant. Because of her behavior, because she had recorded her cycles, and because she was looking up symptoms, that data was sold, and she ended up being marketed baby supplies. Like that actually happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like this is the type of shit that's happening.
bro.
Jerry, are you pregnant?
No, like so listen, right? So I was on OnlyFans, right?
Oh no.
And I started getting emails. I mean, not emails. I started like on my Twitter timeline. I started getting OnlyFans ads, and I'm like, "What's it?"
That's just Twitter in general, honestly.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
That's Twitter.
Okay.
Twitter's
like
just a
Twitter,
cesspool.
dude, Twitter at this
I'm
point, like,
barely- I'm hardly on
Bro.
Twitter. Whenever I go on, it's like weird shit. Like I'm hardly
It's-
on it. I
see
get it.
so much.
I don't know how
Twitter
it's
is
tailored.
It's first of all, it's a platform to chit chat, post your thoughts. It's also a porn site. It's also a site to see gruesome stuff.
Yeah,
It's
I've
also a
seen some pretty
political
horrible
site.
shit, dude.
oh my
I've seen so
Like,
much
god,
shit.
dude.
why am I able to see tits, somebody's head getting cut off, some kids fighting, and the president of the United States making a statement, all in the same platform?
Yeah,
You
like,
scroll like
How
for
are you
like
guys
half
seeing?
a second, and that's what you get. Exactly.
yeah.
Grandsand, if you go on Twitter and you start watching one video, you finna get all those kinds of videos. Then you go down this rabbit hole to where it switches. Now you getting all that. It's
Twitter
this
is
how-
only for thoughts and
my-
thoughts.
My entire Twitter feed is like streamers and then other streamers trying to promote other streamers.
Because
comment
like
here,
mine is
dude.
streamers,
Stream-
crypto, OnlyFans, president.
And then and then
So
the,
with this,
the
if you
gruesome
want to know
ass
somebody,
content.
just open their Twitter feed.
See, I think you've
Honestly,
also curated your own
let's free
experience
scroll Twitter on the podcast.
as well.
Oh,
Grandsand.
no.
Like Grandsand, you've curated your experience on Twitter. So like it's kind of like
Right.
when you first go onto TikTok and it's just a bunch of chicks
Yeah.
shaking their ass and shit, and you're like, you skip past it enough, and then you're like, start getting into Andrew Tate,
And then you just
get Andrew
I
Tate,
feel-
Jordan Peterson. And
Oh, shout out to TikTok because they got out the option to
That's
where you
true.
can reset that.
Oh really?
And now all my stuff is just like wrestling stuff and football stuff. And I love it.
I feel like Grandsand's like Instagram timeline is nothing but Nerf guns for some reason.
it's Nerf for
But yeah,
nothing.
on TikTok you can reset. You can make it relearn new stuff. So you can hit the reset button.
That's
And
nice.
then start liking stuff. And it's only gonna show you those type of videos. And I love it. I just see football and wrestling on my TikTok.
and
I
You
love
know
it.
what else is
Nice.
crazy? You know what else is crazy, you guys? Here, I want to talk to you about this.
What
I want
was-
to talk to you about this. This is crazy.
Okay.
So while we're on the
Okay.
subject
Yes.
of
Yes.
curating an experience on these apps like TikTok, Instagram
Yes.
Reels,
Yes. Yes.
YouTube Shorts. So
Mhm.
you know, I think my algorithm is pretty set in stone right now. Like I'm on Reels a lot.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's raccoons, cats, couples, jokes, shit, and then like some really weird like shit that I always send to Grandsand, right? Like Dragon Ball Z,
which is a pretty weird shit.
you know, like stupid shit, right?
That's great.
As soon,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna weigh into like the like where I stand on the issue, but as soon as
Mhm.
the Palestine-Israel conflict started heating up, I started getting a lot of like debates between Muslims and Christians, debates between Israelis and Muslims, debates between atheists and Muslims. It was crazy. Like, and I don't watch that kind of stuff like all the time. Like I don't watch those types of debates. It just started getting super intense. And I would start watching them because I was like, oh, this is interesting. I want to hear this perspective. And then I just kept getting it. And it's like, why am I getting this all of a sudden? Obviously, it's very popular, but I also felt like it was being pushed on me.
Yeah,
like,
it was 100%.
Was it being pushed on me, or was it just like everybody else was getting interested in it and it slipped into my algorithm?
They try to blame the algorithm,
or is
but
it both?
They can push all their stuff. Like if they want the West Coast to think one thing and the East Coast to think another, they can make that happen. We only gonna send the Israel stuff to the West Coast and the Palestine stuff to the East Coast.
Right. I know. I feel like it's a cycle. You know, it's like you've got the echo chamber from one side. Obviously, people are more inclined to believe in a certain thing. If you live on the East Coast and West Coast, you're going to stray a little bit more left leaning. If you're more center, you know, Western, you know, Central America, you're going to gravitate a little bit more conservative. Right. So it's like, obviously, you're going to get that. But I also think that people are stirring the pot as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just to kind of push it over the
100%.
line.
There needs to be a law that hold people accountable for the information they put out there. To where, hey, you just put out some false information trying to stir up some shit. Penalty, fine,
bro.
Get
I guess so, but then
that
that goes against like freedom of speech. Like as long as it's not inciting violence or encouraging
I actually
violence.
got a problem with freedom of speech, and I hate to be the one to say it, but sometimes we shouldn't have freedom of speech 100% of the time.
I feel
think
like
we should have freedom of
certain shit
consequence.
that just should be said. Like,
yeah, well, that's
okay.
what I'm saying is that and everyone says that of like whenever you go into a private business or whatever, you go, oh, I can say whatever I want, freedom of speech. It's like, no, you're in a private business right now.
Yeah.
So
There's
they
etiquette.
so they can kick you out if they want to.
If it's a
Right.
private
Well, it's a
owned
business
place,
because they aren't governed by law like it's a business, it's a corporate entity. So they don't go under the same like rules of the law to cater to your freedom, your right to speech. I think, Jerry,
that's a debate we could have. Is like where is like the line of like, okay, well you're like in a private business right now, so you're not really under the Constitution for these certain rules. So like you could also make the argument of like, well, I'm an American citizen, so I should always have these rules. But it's like, well, you're not, because we can kick you out if you want because.
it's simple. It's like, okay, just use the
it's not a legal
simplest terms.
situation though. Like
I can go outside Grandsand house and cuss him out from the street, and he can't do shit about it. Yeah, they can get you from disorderly conduct, but this holds everything.
He wouldn't.
But if I go inside his house,
Like, all right.
if I go inside his house and he say I can't say a certain thing, I have to go by his rule because I'm in a private home. I can't say, oh, I can say what I want. Freedom of speech.
Right.
Nah, they don't apply.
well, and it's like
in my
nothing
house.
it's not enforced by the law, right? It's like it's enforced by the owners and it's their private property, it's their land. So it's their right to determine whether or not you're allowed to be there. And if saying something is going to go against your rules, your rights as a private owner are
Like if you want to talk shit, go past the mailbox first.
right.
Yeah.
I think, Jerry, when you said that like some freedom of speech shouldn't be allowed, the issue that you get into then is where do you draw the line and how often do you move that dial?
I'm put it like this, okay, because for some reason I've been watching cop videos religiously now.
I wonder
And
why.
I noticed this thing where people like you cuss police officers out. Then they be like, it's my freedom of speech. I get that. But also, if they ever turn cussing words into a hate crime type thing, a lot of people gonna be screwed. Like,
Well, I
why
mean-
would you say "fuck you"? Like, I know they like cops shouldn't be getting their feelings hurt by "fuck you," but I'm a normal person. You just come to me, "fuck you," I'm gonna feel some type of way. I'm like, whoa, hey, calm the fuck down if I hit you in your face. Simple as that. Because the only
But
thing
that could be the repercussion
Yeah,
of
no.
them instead of it being.
But people got to realize, like, that's the only thing I take a cop side on is like, yeah, if you cussing at me and going crazy on me, now I'm looking for a reason to arrest you. Of course I am. You being disrespectful, so you didn't do shit wrong, but you're cussing me out. So now I'm finna look at every little minute detail to see why I get your. Oh, you're allowed disorderly conduct. You're detained.
I think that there should be something about like, and again, I don't know how we got down the political aspect on this podcast.
This is how it goes.
we were like,
inevitable.
we were
Going
like,
down the rabbit hole.
you know what? No structure, and then oh shit,
Politics. Because there is speech. Sorry, I'll let you get back to it, Karn, but there is speech that isn't protected under the First Amendment. It's incitement, threats, fighting words, defamation, perjury.
Is wapa a fighting word?
Depending on who you are.
Oh, like wapa.
Yeah, you know, wapa. Yeah, yeah.
No, I think it means
Pow! Clang! Sling!
It's the same as inciting violence, like incitement of violence.
God,
Like
not
if
the
I were
whoosh.
to call an action or threaten to hurt you, like call to action, a threat.
Yeah.
If I were to weaponize, like use my platform to weaponize people against another person, like, hey,
Yep.
I'm not saying you should go dox Jack's films, but you should go dox Jack's
What?
films. That is then unprotected under the
Mhm.
laws of freedom of speech
And,
because you're
and
telling
then you
you're
get away with it
compelling
and get
people.
no.
Right.
You get away with it and you get no repercussions because you know you somehow are just free of repercussions on that for some reason.
Yeah, and with what Jerry was talking about with the whole cop thing, and I think there are definitely cops that immediately just get super pissed off and go down that hole of like, I'm just gonna find a reason to like maybe arrest you or get you a ticket or whatever. Most of the time, I would think, and this is only because I've been editing videos for the Police Foundation and going to those events and all that kind of stuff. If they see someone who's like fussing at them or whatever, it's not that they, and this is generalized, they just get pissed off. It's more so like, okay, they're expressing an aggressive demeanor, and now I feel like they could do something more than what the situation is like currently. Like they can escalate it to a point where now my life is in danger. So now it's not like
It's
they
also
say
like
fuck
you got
you and you're like,
Yeah.
what? No, fuck you. No, that's like, oh my gosh, okay, whoa, they're getting aggressive. Do I need to start becoming defensive?
right. It is the context of like the physical body language. Like obviously, I've seen a lot of people flipping off cops, cursing at cops, and it's just like nothing you can do.
I don't think
But
if
then
you
there are
get
people
arrested,
who are
you
like,
should get pressed charges against like 100% of the time.
Wait, what?
It's what's crazy about that. If you think about it, all right, take a simple traffic stop. 80% of people that get pulled over get themselves in trouble.
Yeah.
Even if you got something in the car that ain't supposed to be there, you cause the scene to where now they have to search. It's like if you were speeding, just get the ticket, do something with it later. Yes, sir. No, sir. Here's my license. Here's my registration. I ain't got this. I ain't got that. Get the ticket. Be on your way. It's
There's so many people who are digging themselves in a hole.
Like
No, and that's fine. But like my thing is like I feel like I don't think you should get a charge for any time you get arrested. I think like just like I think there should be something that's in between the arrest, arraign, jail, whatever.
It's called
and nothing.
misdemeanor.
No, but I'm saying like that it shouldn't even be on your record. Like not even like I
get that.
You look up your record, it's like, oh, you got this misdemeanor, this felony, whatever. Like if you're just being a jackass for the sake of being a jackass right now, I'm gonna go put you in a room for 24 hours.
I mean, they do that. They got holding cells to where they book you, your name and stuff, but it's
That's
not
what
gonna
I'm-
show
but
up
that's
on
what
a
I'm saying.
background check.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like
They
it's
have
not
it.
even
It's just-
background check. Just like you're an idiot.
Yeah.
We're gonna lock you up for being an idiot for about
Yeah.
45 minutes or whatever, and then you're gonna be let go, and don't do it again. Basically, like
That's usually what a normal like warning citation is for. They just write it, but it's not gonna pop up on background check on your record. But people just go beyond and raise the situation.
Oh,
to
people
where,
are
now I gotta
stupid.
do
No,
something.
don't get me wrong. People are definitely stupid, without a
Bro,
doubt.
I watched the drunk drivers, and it kills me. I'm like, if a police catch you drinking and driving, right? They automatically think, oh, I'm gonna get locked up. No, they're just gonna take you to a holding cell. Wait till you sober up. You get this small little fine, and your license probably gets suspended for like 30 days. Then you're back to normal. But then they want to act crazy, and now you have to go to jail for reckless driving, endangerment, all that stuff. When you could have just went to the hotel, got sober, did the test again, went home.
Right.
Like, god damn.
Yeah. Jeez.
My mom's, or I guess it'd be my grandmother. My mom's mom was killed by a drunk driver in a car accident, and it's
My mom.
New Year, new trauma.
My mom got hit by a car, or Well, she was pregnant with me. Hit and run.
Oof.
As well. It's rough.
I'm sorry for smiling, but like the way you said it, I thought you were like actually making a joke. I'm sorry.
No.
I really thought.
No, I know you're not
thought you were
making
like
a
my
joke.
mom got hit.
I was
by
just
a car.
trying to relate to you, buddy. It's hard, man. Like drunk driving, man.
But
it's not a joke.
I take it seriously. It's like, you know, don't be stupid. Like, especially like in today's day and age when Ubers and fucking taxi services, Lyfts and whatever, like they're so readily available. Don't take the risk. It's not worth it.
Like, first of all, you know your limit.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. I can drink a couple of beers and be perfectly fine. But if you start, you can be drunk and you know if you're stumbling. You know you're stumbling.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
If anything,
Even
sit in
if
your
you're
car for
tipsy.
a couple of hours. Because an ounce of alcohol takes an hour to get out your body. So if you had 3 shots, wait 3 hours. It's simple math.
Yeah.
And then just try. And if you know you finna go drink and get shit faced, Uber, get a friend to take you. So, then bars, I put a slight blame on them. Because, they can sit there and tell when somebody's drunk and stop serving them. But I feel like, hey, y'all probably should stop serving them way before they get to that point. Because if you, it's like, it can be an easy setup. If cops just wait outside of a bar, bro, which I'm glad they don't. But if they did and just watch people as they went to their car, everybody getting a ticket. Everybody. Before you even make it to the car.
We're talking about, we're talking about like minor politics, honestly. Like, the reason why I don't really get into shit like that anymore is because I've realized something, that one side is about like the rights of the people, one side is about different rights of the people, and in the middle you have the compromise that no one wants because whatever. But like what I've noticed is that both sides gets in their own way all the time.
Yeah,
right.
Because either you have people that want these rights, but then they don't actually do the work for it. This side who does the work for the rights, but like they're also fighting for the rights to take their rights away, but then they want to take their rights away, so then they want to take their rights away, and it goes back and forth. And I'm just like, why can't we just fucking be human, bro? Like, I don't give a fuck about what the fuck you got. Like, McHawkthorn, if you want to live your life, live your goddamn life. I don't give a shit what you want to do. Just don't hate people for dumb reasons. That's all I give a fuck about.
Right. Well, and I think also at the end of the day, I think it's interesting. I feel like an issue, and I'm gonna sound like boomer on Maine, but I think the issue with the society, and I mean we can take this all the way back to the beginning. It's the cell phones. The cell phones are ruining society. Not necessarily. I think it's the issue. People identifying very strongly with their opinions and not letting their opinions stand aside from their identity, right? So it's like, you know, I have this certain belief system. If you disagree with my belief system, if you hate my belief system, then you hate me, which isn't always the case. And when you end up getting in this sort of echo chamber, like on Twitter or whatever, start hearing your own, you know, and people have gotten bold online, you know, it's like, there's no filter anymore. But like, I think at the end of the day, we have a lot more in common and we all have fairly similar goals. It's just we have different ways that we want to achieve those goals. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I think
it's weird because you're so right about that, because that's been something in my childhood, is like when I had something that I liked or an opinion or whatever, and someone was like, I don't like that thing that you like. It like physically, almost physically, mostly emotionally hurt me. And I was like, you hate me. Ah!
Oh no. And that's when Jerry broke the podcast. So yeah, he had severe storms that day and the power went out. But that's that podcast for this week. Sorry to be lit as like I'm telling you a ghost story.